been involved in a lot of the programs your son has been in. And, I think as parents, we need to realize that there always isn't going to be a program, and searching and searching and searching, it may be a dead end, and that we have to just get involved.
Mm-hmm.
And that's hard when we're tired, but yet I've heard through your story, just how fruitful it has been in your life to be on that end as well.
Mm-hmm.
But then for parents who do have programs that their kids can get involved in, how do they become a co-teacher with the people that are working with their kids? How have you liked, as parents have been involved in your program, for them to help their kids at home and to help your program? I mean, what are some things that parents can do to just boost that
It's such
interaction?
a great question. One of the things is we encourage the parents to come to class, but to stay in the hall.
Okay.
And then they connect with each other.
Yeah.
We have once a month organized positive parent support groups.
Mm.
And they're positive groups where we talk about something funny our child did. And then what happens is the parents become so connected with each other.
Right.
And that carries home, because when we fill ourselves up, we're full.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing we do is we practice the 7 keys with our parents.
Okay.
So when a parent comes to me and they're complaining about their child, and they're not getting the grades that they need, and they're not then I will kindly and gently reframe that. Well, tell me something they are doing.
Oh, that is good. Mm-hmm.
And then I invite them as their homework to be that way with their child when they get home.
Yeah.
Remind them, catch them doing something that, and come from an I place of we learn connection and relationship through others. So just say, I really appreciated how you helped me out tonight with the dinner plates.
Right. They mimic. And if we aren't giving a good example, we can't expect it in return. We're going to get what we give and what we model.
Yeah. And I think also what you said is we can't expect it in return. I think that's something that is sometimes hard. Not to be at all sexist, but I hear a lot from, I consult with moms and dads all over the country, and I hear more from dads that they want something from their child,
Mm-hmm.
And I think we have to shift that. Want nothing.
Yeah.
Want and need nothing.
Our children weren't brought into this world to give us things. We were meant to care for them.
Right.
Yes.
And replenish from our higher power, replenish from whatever it is that fills you up, replenish from, and then take those little, I like to say what's one small step for a neurotypical kid is a giant leap for our kids.
Yeah.
And like my son, before he goes to bed, goes,
oh.
And that just fills me up,
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, take those little morsels. It's like fine chocolate. You don't need a lot of it.
Right.
You just need a little bit, and you just go, oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
So I think that's what we can do, is really cherish those little moments and not think we're going to get filled up by our children.
Yeah.
And make sure that we're full, And the other is really follow their interests. I mean, my son has become an organic gardener, which I have a brown thumb. And he has a job. Yeah, he has a job working in an organic garden. And because of him, nothing to do with me, because of him, the program has started a whole disability program. He's a leader. I mean, but it's not me doing it for him. It's because he loves that. So finding what your child is natural at.
Yes.
And encourage that, develop that, let it grow into, let it blossom. That may be completely different from who you are. I mean, I'm definitely not a gardener. So and he feels God's hands working through his hands when he's working. And so, I think that's really important for parents, is just be on the lookout. And the way we found out is because he likes to catch bees and smell them.
Really?
No, doesn't get
It's gonna be
stung.
fast.
Doesn't get
Wow.
stung. And we started going on a path of helping him, thinking he'd be a bee, keeper. And
Right.
then we saw that he loved the flowers. So it was
Hmm.
the flowers that he loved. And then just going, following that lead from him, and then learning that he loves gardening. So I think look at the little clues and cues that our children are giving
They
us.
are. They are clues and cues. Yes, perfect wording for
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So yeah, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It takes on a whole different perspective when we. And I was moderating a discussion panel yesterday. And it was kind of all the panelists were saying to the parents, and most of them were new to homeschooling. Sorry, excuse me. Um, just that one of your main jobs, especially as a homeschooler, because you have your kids home all the time, is become a student of your
Yes.
child.
Oh, I love that.
And
Become a
the
student of your child.
flexibility of homeschooling allows you to teach where your child is bent on learning. And I've seen that as I've embraced that dynamic and freedom of homeschooling, and how wonderful that has made that whole progress with my own
Beautiful.
kids,
So
because they would
beautiful.
never been able to explore the things that they've explored if they would have been in a classroom every
Yes.
day.
So I was just thinking that's such a beautiful segue, because the same thing about our religious rituals.
Mm,
It's the same thing. Let our children be our ministers. Let them be
yeah.
our teachers. And just like we came from a whole new exploration of schooling and learning, we become students of a new way of practicing our faith.
That is, yes. And we get in our mind, this is the way it was meant to be.
Right.
And I've had to take a step back sometimes from my traditions and say, was that really how it was intended?
Yes.
And going back to what you were talking about before, what is the purpose behind this? Why are
Yes.
we doing this? Is adapting it this way really taking away the purpose? Or is it just taking away my ideals of what it should look like?
Right. Right.
And
Getting
I
to
think,
the true essence of how it all started.
right, exactly.
It's almost mystical.
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, and our kids do. They make us take a step back, I think, and they give us a better perspective of the world, because we are so tunnel visioned
Yes.
about what it should look like. And you go to other parts of the world, and they practice the same faith we have in a very different way.
That's right.
So does it make what they're doing wrong? And no, it doesn't. So um, yes, it's just a whole bunch of different worlds here in our homes that
Mm.
will give us that perspective too.